everybody. We are about to start. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. So we were actually supposed to start building the heart of the transit system last week, but unfortunately, I recorded the entire thing without any audio. So I remember a lot of what I did. So we are going to redo this entire area so that we can move forward with getting to the detailing. I did originally have a elevated subway station here. I don't know if we're going to put that back just because once we put the buildings here, to give the bus station more depth, I don't think we'll need the subway station here. We'll figure it out. I'm not 100% sure. We will need that. I'm just not sure if it needs to be in this area because initially I had it back here to give the station a more grand feel because at the end of the day, this is called the Grand Terminal, right? So it needs to be grand. We need to live up to that name. So what I am going to do to start, I'm going to move the parking garage to a temporary location. We're just going to put it right here for now because we need the area here, over here. And then I believe we are going to remove this garage here because we're going to have a connection here to the bus terminal as well as over here. We are going to delete all of this for now because it is no longer needed at the current moment. Yes, people are going to be upset, but that's okay. I am going to also allow the game to run this time without pausing it. I just feel that it makes the game a little bit more lively, and then especially when I'm doing shorts, people aren't looking at what appears to be a still shot of the game when in fact it's just me. Like for instance right here, I'll do it for a second. If I had it paused, it would look like a still shot because nothing will be moving. So we are going to go into our Find It tool here, and we are going to look for some buildings that we can use to give our bus station that grand feeling that we are looking for. And commercial is not it. So we will go with, let's just type in business. That is, yeah, just the business plaza. That is not going to work. Let's take a look here. Maybe I should just type in com and see if the same items come up or if we get more options. We are getting more options this time. I don't want to do that. That looks too European. Nothing against Europeans. I love our European brothers and sisters. Actually, you know what? Over here, I actually had a food station. I believe it was called. Yes, there it is. So we're gonna put the food station over here, and we will turn off the snapping tool so we have greater control over what we are doing. And I think, I'm trying to think, should we have the entrance over this way? No, we will put it here. right, we'll put that there. Let's try to get this as square as we can. I'm not going to worry about any detailing right now because I know what I need to do with this to make it connect to the station. So right now we have these hedges, and Better Bulldoze will allow us to remove these hedges so that we will have a connecting path between the bus station and the food station. And then over here, we're going to have just some shaded bus station pickup stations. I don't think I'm going to have any buses actually go there. It's just to give it more of a unified look with the station as we develop it. So let's go back here. We will type in com. I don't know why I keep coom. I'm typing in coom. I don't know what a coom is. Is that a comb or something? I don't know. Perhaps. Let's see. I believe... I think we need something rounder. And I think I didn't get anything because did I type in commercial wrong that first time? I really wasn't paying attention. It's possible. Let's see. I don't think I like that. I think we need something rounded here. This might actually work. I believe this is actually what we had the last time. We will remove the decals off of this. Ignore the road error there. We will fix that. I think that we're going to do that. And then funny enough, so the stream before this one, and well, 2 streams ago, because remember I said at the offset, I forgot to voice record myself. So I had to take that video down because obviously nobody was going to watch it because they could not hear a single word that I was saying. But I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. A green overpass, not realizing that this is for bicycles. So yeah, that is why it was green. I thought it had something to do with me installing new mods, and obviously that was not what that was for. So yeah, it's kind of funny what I actually think I noticed that on stream, but I was so embarrassed to say that last time. It's like, this is how we learn. We make mistakes, right? And a wise man or woman can own their mistakes. That is the only way we grow, man. And ladies, admit our mistakes. And as last time, I don't see, this gives me like hotel. It gives me hotel vibes. And I feel that that's a little bit too tall. So we will need to find... Perhaps, I don't think this is going to work either. No, that is too tall. I actually like this, but I'm just wondering. It doesn't really feel like a bus station anymore, does it? With that one. No, it looks like a hotel, and it gives me like 1960s, 1970s vibes. That one could work, but it's too tall. It's too tall, too tall, too tall. Too short. I am not so sure. We need something taller. These obviously are not going to work because they are low. And I really want something that's mid-level height, and we might need to go back up, but let's just see what's down here. I think that's going to be too big, yes. That's high. And I could have planned all of this out and wrote down all of the buildings, but I wanted to make this live feel like it did in the last one where I did not have audio turned on because I wanted to show the process. So yes, I could have planned out everything. I actually have a save loaded where I did do a lot of work off stream, but I made the conscious decision to start this process over so I could show you guys and gals every step that I took to achieve what I did, because I wasn't recording when I did the stuff off stream, which I will start to do, so I don't have to start completely over and we can just do a recap, right? This is probably, yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be huge. That would be awesome if it wasn't covering that up. Does actually could even, I don't think so. This is too big. If that was like half the size, that would have been fantastic. And I don't have words this morning. I can't say words. I think the building that I'm looking for, I forgot what I typed in. I think I already typed in business, right? I did that a few minutes ago and nothing really came up. Yeah, the business plaza. Let's type in office and see. I could have sworn I typed in commercial last time and that's what gave me the buildings that I wanted. But it could be. No, I don't think it was office. I do not believe it was office. So what did we type in to get those other buildings? I do not know. Let's type in buildings and see what happens. I don't know. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, that did not give us that many options. This looks really tall. Holy crap, Batman. Yeah, we're not. Imperial State. Holy, whoa. That is a really tall building. Let's see. I guess we'll go back to comm and see whatever option I typed in last time. Actually, we do need, I think we're just going to jump over to this so I'm not boring you guys out of your minds. I do know that we do not need this right here, and we don't need that or this for now. All right, and we will, let's see here. I think we are going to have a smaller local road here. Let me turn off anarchy just so I want this. We'll use it if we have to, but yeah, there we go, perfect. Okie dokie. And then we will go back into this tool and we will place, which way do we want this? I think we're gonna put it this way. There we go. Look at that. It's really hard to get this perfect the way I want it. It always feels like that's a smidgen off from being the exact position that I want it. And we are, of course, going to use Better Bulldozer to get rid of all of these stickers. And I will also, once we have the layout complete, make all of this look cohesive by using the same color palette. Okay, so we have that there. Let's go back down here. I feel like it might have been some of these. Not 100% sure. The reason I was actually going to look up the buildings that I used, the issue is after you put them down, they no longer have these generic names. And I knew this part was going to take a while, and I just didn't want to spend a whole lot of time doing that. But we have no choice here, so we're going to do it. Yes. All right. So that looks like the building I had before. I do have a guide here, so I can try to remain true to what I built off the camera. Okay, so let's go back here. That was too small. That almost looks like what we had previously. It's very, very close to what we had before. Because they are about the same height, I did want to mention, I actually think this might be the exact one. So we're going to go with this one. If it wants to place, and I don't have anarchy on. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is fine. And let's turn back on our snap. That is going to help us significantly. And I think right there is fine. Perfect. And I also believe we put another one of these here. So this is kind of like the grand, this is the bus station, but it's also the main headquarters, because we're going to have different bus stations, of course, throughout the city, smaller ones. And this is kind of where all the big wigs come into work. And as I said, ignore all of these error bubbles. We will address that here later after we get everything the way we want it. I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll copy the template, the palette for this, and see if we like it. So let's grab that. And we will paste this over. Same thing with this. Paste it over. It looks a lot more cohesive now. And if it looks too matchy-matchy, we can change things later. I can do that to the buildings individually. But for now, I don't know what I don't know what just happened there. So let's go ahead and copy that again. Move back over here and ensure that we are pasting that. I guess it already changed it. It didn't look like it did anything to me personally, but yeah. All right. So now we are going to remove these decals and advertisement signs, and we'll keep that. And this tool I am using currently is just the Better Bulldoze tool. It allows you to remove individual subgroup items. I guess that could have stayed there. And I will fix this. I think I ended up having to use a different building, so these parking spots for the buses weren't overlapped. So we might end up pulling this up some so that that is not clipped. I don't want to spend too much time bulldozing the signs, but it does need to be done. And the reason we are doing this is for cohesion. We want this to feel like one building, and that looks like a grand station to me so far. It is substantial, and there is dimension between the buildings. Now, even though that one's a lot taller, but that's effectively kind of our mini convention center for this area. And I believe I was thinking about, I think we might add some residential spaces in here. I have not completely decided on that yet. We'll see what happens once things are detailed, what room is left. I don't want it to feel congested and just overthought. So we will address that later. Let's just get back to deleting these decals that we do not want or need. And we will put these back later. I will do that part off stream. I cannot say stream today for some reason. It is a tongue twister for me for some odd purpose. I don't know. All right, there we go. And I guess we'll keep those at the bottom there. We'll get rid of that one. And if I am so inclined, I may, at some point, this would definitely be done off camera, create my own decals. Like I can do that in Canva, and then I'll just have to figure out how to load it into the game. But yeah, that might be something we do. But you guys will not have to watch me do that, of course, because I don't think that that's really engaging or interesting. So I will do that off camera for sure. And I believe that we are good on that part right there. So now we are going to connect these three buildings with crosswalks, overpasses, crosswalk overpasses. So let's see here. This is what I was saying. Like, I don't know if the vanilla game had these in here. I maybe, probably, but I just know that after I installed a whole bunch of mods that I saw this, and maybe it just popped out because it's green. Now, I don't know. It was just really awkward. All right. Anyway, moving on. So we are going to, I think we need to, let's do that so we can, do I want that to go straight in here, or do I want it to be like a, that actually is not, yeah, that, let's make that 5. And how do we look here? And we're going to use move it to put that pillar right here. That looks fantastic. And yeah, I think that's good. But the question is 5 meters enough for a bus to clear this area? That is the question. But we're not going to think about that too much, because we're going to say, hey, only little small service vehicles are coming through here. Buses don't, well, buses will need to go through there. So I guess we're back to that question. Let's just go ahead and delete it. And then we will, let me turn that off. And then we will go back to making it 10, which I just felt was really high. Yeah, that's really, really high. Okay, we're just gonna go with what the limitations of the game are. And the limitations of the game is showing us that 10 is too tall, and 5 is a bit short, but I guess the buses will still go through there. And if they don't, then we'll figure that out at a later point. I'm pretty sure I was able to use 10 last time, which is leading me to believe, and that is not connected to the building, which is leading me to believe that I actually had a taller building right here. But this, from my reference image of what I completed, this actually is very, very similar to what we had before. So I can't see that it was a taller building. That works. And just one more time here. Let's look at 10. I'm not really sold on this, or I just need to get a taller building right there, which we might do. I think I like that better. And then let's move this. If we can, it is not allowing us to select that. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. So let's delete this yet again and put it back. Why am I clicking on just random things? Okay, that's... Okay, I think that that's good this time. Yeah, let's see. Oh, great, and all the signs are back that we removed. That is fantastic. Okie dokie. So no more moving this building, because these will keep coming back every single time that we move it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it one more time. That's really bothering me because it's at an angle as well. Let's just make sure that it's not on the edge of the building this time, which it looks like it is. This is the price of being a perfectionist, I swear. And some things in the game you just can't make perfect, so we have to take our wins where we can and our losses just the same. Yeah, that is still at an angle. It's fine. it is fine. I'm not going to waste any more time with that. So... we'll start with 10 here. And then we will go down to 5. This looks great. Okay, let's go back to 10. And now back to 5. And there. We now have that connected, which I don't like how that looks. So we are going to delete that and make that centered. It looked like it was centered from this side. All right. Let's try this again. I did not have to do this on this many attempts on my original stream. But hey, this is a different stream, so different challenges, I guess. All right. Let's just make sure. Okay. And that is the bones of our Grand Bus Station. I want to find a different color for this, but I think we'll just stick with the palette for all the other buildings for now. And then we can always change this later. We will, let me see if there's anything else we need to do before I start connecting things over here. This is going to entirely change. We're going to make this a lot smaller. We're also, actually we'll do that now, because this is going to take a little bit longer. Okay. So what I have planned here is for us to make a smaller tram junction right here. Which one do we want to use? I want this one actually. Yeah, this is the one we're going to use. I do not need that one. I need this one. Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. I need to actually flip this around. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's just go ahead and delete these over here. I was about to say, what is going on there? It did not look like it was going to make it go that direction for some odd reason. Okay, cool. Moving on. We will delete that here in a moment. I just need this to connect properly. And we will delete these extra pieces. And the road actually needs to come up here instead of right there. Okay, I guess we need to delete that first. That's right here. And we'll go down. So this matches, hopefully. Okay. And one more time to fix the direction, so we get rid of that error message. Perfect. Okie dokie. And then let's see. Guess we will add back our pedestrian path. Let's see here. Yeah, that's just going to be a little off. I notice it. It's bothering me, but whatever. We will work with what we have. And we will throw some grass in here. I'm not going to detail yet. I'm just going to add some surfaces. And we might do some detailing. I have, as I said, my diagram here from what I did while I was offline, and I like the layout of things that I did on that, so I intend on reusing it. And I want the fancier patterned grass here. Okay, and then we'll do the same right here. All right, cool. I guess we can go ahead and take care of these bubbles. The only thing I'm worried about here, and I guess time will tell if this is going to affect the buses with this road here. Seriously? Oh, yeah, because we need to move this up. So, let's use move it. I really loathe when it does that. Why does it like when I use move it, it always, for some reason, wants to default to the actual station. There we go. Cool. All right. I think we're going to need to pull this out just a little bit more. Ah, we don't want that. We want this to move. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. And let's get rid of these decals one more time. I believe this is the last time we're going to need to do this. Nothing else is going to need to be moved. Sorry that we're having to repeat a lot of things, guys. I guess I should have had everything in its permanent location before I worried about removing the decals. I guess that top one is fine. That can remain there. That can remain there. Let's get rid of these. And I think we are now good. And these just keep coming back. I did not move this building. I guess if any of the buildings are connected, it brings back everything, which is absolutely insane. Okay. I'll just wait, because if we move anything else, all those are going to come back. So I'm not going to waste any more time on that. All right. So this is what we have so far. Let's go ahead and get this problem resolved. All right. There we go. Very good. All right. We got rid of all of our error bubbles. And I'm not going to do any detailing yet. We do need to let's see. And then I believe, let's go to hedges. Oh, I guess I can just type in hedge. I believe it's this one. Perfect. I'm not going to worry about walls or anything right now. We will go ahead with, let's see, maybe we should do the grass first. Don't know what I'm thinking. That needs to go all the way up here. Ha 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 ha. And I'm not sure if, let's see. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't need it to be, it doesn't need to match. Contrast is good. And I said we're not doing any detailing. Here we are. We're not going to do that much detailing. Cool. All right. Now we have that connected. Now it's cohesive. We don't need to worry about a connection here, even though, I mean, we have that there, but I still feel like people might be walking from over here and they might not be up here in the building, and who's going to go, oh, I need to go in the building and I'm going to walk all the way upstairs, and like, no, we're just going to walk across right here. I will add an invisible path here for pedestrians. I'm not going to do that right now. I guess I could do it now. I'll do it later. But the foundation of our Grand Terminal is coming together for the bus station itself. I'm thinking I want to move these closer, but by doing so, it actually competes with this building unless we merge those together, which let's see how that works. There's nothing wrong with merging buildings together. That's how we create a whole new custom building that nobody else has, right? I really hope that the new devs add a undo button. Like, that would be so amazing. It will help us a lot to simply be able to just do Control Z, like you can do with almost anything and everything else. That actually works quite well. It does compete with this section, but I don't really mind that. I think it scales well. I actually really like this. So yeah, we'll go with this layout. I think it works quite fine, quite well. And we'll go ahead and upgrade that. And we will add a local road. Why not? Here we go. All right then, mate. And because we have that, this just feels redundant at this point. So we're going to delete, and I still have that turned on. Let's turn it off. Yeah. There's a parking garage right here. Get over it. And I think we're going to delete that. We'll need to put the rope back, of course, because we need the connection here. Okay. And I don't think we need a plaza. I think what we're going to do instead is we will add a walking path here. I'm trying to restrain myself from doing too much detailing because I really want to detail. I love detailing. Detailing is fun, but that's not our main focus right now. Could be, I guess, right? We can make this live be whatever we want it to be, right? That's the beauty of streaming. You go with the flow. Just go in the direction that things in life is telling you to go. If it makes sense, why not? I actually like that a lot. So let's see if we can get some of these colors from here to transfer into this garage. That just made it way brighter. Kind of wanted to. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no. I don't think I like it in black. It's just, it looks kind of weird. But more of an off-white. I think we just, the gray doesn't work. I think we just need to tone that down. And then I guess we can make that a bit darker. I'm not crazy about that, but we'll see. Well, I guess it works. I need it to match this more, and I think that is okay. It's a lot better than it was. I think we need a fountain here. Some fountains. A fountain. Yeah, I could have. And if I place my fingers on the right part of the keyboard, I can type words. And we will worry about detailing that part later. I just kind of want to get an idea of how I want things to be laid out and break things up just a bit. So we will do minimal detailing at this point. And I know sometimes I repeat myself a lot. It is also to keep me on track, to restrain myself from going off on tangents. Tangents can be good though, if it leads to a better design. This is looking really good. But yeah, we got to stay focused on what our main objectives are. So what I really want to do, and I wish I could do it, but the thing is, if I put like a cement texture coming all the way this way to make the match, what's going to end up happening is going to come over. It's going to place itself on top of the grass surface, and we don't want that. So because we will have plazas on either side here, and then there's going to be grass surrounding it, so it's going to be a lot of green area, and of course we will break that up with trees to make that make more sense. And I don't like that there anymore like that, so yeah, we're gonna have that come up here and then go to the city. And part of me is like, did I move this way too far from the city? Are people really going to come all the way out here? Maybe, maybe not. It's by the airport too. So, yeah. And then, as I said a stream or two ago, we're probably going to move part of downtown out this way anywho, because I want to rethink all of this area over here. It's like there's water over here, and the suburbs should be taking advantage of the water for higher land values. Yeah. I am really, really liking this. I think we're going to just keep these unsurfaced because, as I said, in winter, it really looks nice when you have undeveloped land with white snow on it, and then the green pops from the grass surfaces look really nice. And then if you have everything surfaced, it doesn't feel realistic. Does not. I guess we will go ahead. And that's another thing I wish they would add is for the surfaces, making it to where it automatically will draw a square or a rectangle, which will make it so much easier to replicate designs on two different sections. So like what I wish I could do is just do it boop boop at a huge rectangle, but as I said, it's going to draw over everything here, so we really cannot do that. I guess what we can do, however, is find out how big we want this and then try to replicate it on the other side by using the guide lines from this plaza to the other one to try to replicate it. It would be so much easier if there was a grid that I could see. But this isn't perfectly squared off, so this is going to be a bit imperfected. It is going to imperfected. It's not even a word. It's going to have imperfections. Man, I'm making up words today. Okay, I don't know. I hate imperfections. They drive me insane. But life isn't perfect. So why should the game be any different, right? Look it up. So let's see here. That's gonna be really hard. I wish you could like hold down a button and yeah, it's not gonna do that. So never mind. Like you could drag it, click it again, and then start the line here so it perfectly lines up. We'll do our best. That's all we can do, right? All we can do is our best. Why is this not telling me the angles anymore? Or the degrees? Yeah, that's really awkward. I don't know what's going on. Actually, what am I doing? That is not what we wanted to do. Jeez. We actually need the we need, let's see which one we want to use. I think it might be this one. Do we want to use that one? I think that'd be too much gray going on. We need something for contrast. I don't really like this one. Well, this one's not okay. No, that's not the one I was thinking it was. I think we need to go with the lighter color because that matches this way too much, and yeah, we need some contrast. We could go with this to give it a whole lot more contrast, right? I think this is like a tan, so we're not going with tan. We can either go with that or we can go with these. I'm thinking we'll go with that color. Gives us the best contrast. So everything doesn't just feel like it's melded together. Seriously? Yeah, that's what we need. That gives us some pop there. And honestly, I think they don't need to match. I think we're going to make this one a bit wider. Everything doesn't have to be symmetrical. I'm not sure. We still need some editing here. Okay. I think we actually might need to pull this out some more. Jeez, it does not want to click to that corner. What is going on here? Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's because of the way I connected this section. That's why it's two parts instead of one. It should be one now. No, it's still two nodes. It's fine. Yeah, I know I said that we were going to try to... That's really at an odd angle, seriously. I also think this might be a little bit wider. That's at an angle. I don't know if I want to fix that. If I have to fix it, we will. Otherwise, we will use landscaping to make everything look more uniform. We're not going to do the fancy grass. We will use just the plain grass surface over here. We will turn back on our snapping tool to make this a little bit quicker. It does not want... Why are you not wanting to snap onto that? Stop being difficult. There you go. All right. Oh yeah, I have a meeting today. I completely forgot about that. I think it's after the live, so we should be good. I'm pretty sure I scheduled it for after the live. I just got a notification that I have a meeting today. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, like you guys care about my personal life. Ha 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 ha. All right, so we will place the hedge, and we will go with a lower one. And this is I guess, you know what, I could have just used the hedges. But the thing is, I believe that it would delete that entire section. It doesn't allow you to, like, it gives you the option here to delete a single item, but an entire row is considered a single item. So yeah, so it wouldn't work for that reason. Excellent. All right, this is starting to look like something. It's starting to look like something, something. It's beginning to look like something. Ha 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 ha. I think we're going to need to delete this again because we are going to create a pathway that goes from here to up over here where we're going to put some more stuff. So that goes bye-bye. And we are going to go... I think we're going to use this one. And I hate when it does that. I'm actually just going to make this go all the way here. Okay. And I will add another section once I put what we're going to have over here. I guess we can add another connection here. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to leave that part open. We will. And close that part. And we'll add trees and stuff later. I think all of this is just, I'm not going to put any surfaces there for the reasons I mentioned earlier. We might put chairs and stuff out here. I mean, there's already seating here, but we'll see. And let's go ahead and remove some of these crosswalks because we don't need all these crosswalks here. That's we'll keep that one. We'll get rid of that one. I think that's fine. I'm trying to think if I want to add a road coming from over here. It will break up traffic once this area gets busier. We'll see. I'll just leave it for now. And I'm trying to think, do we still need this garage right here? I'm not sure. I am not sure if we still need this garage. And because I'm not sure, I'm going to just go ahead and delete it. And we still have that turned on, so let's turn that off. As I always say, and I've mentioned this multiple times, just because you did something doesn't mean it needs to stay. Who knows? We might end up bringing that garage back. And some people might say, well, you should have just kept it there. Yes and no. We may not need it. At this current point, it just feels redundant. It feels that we're using space just for the sake of using the space. And we don't necessarily have the demand quite yet. And as you notice, we are allowing the game to play this time, or to run rather this time, but there's not a lot of traffic in this area. Once again, I mean, you typically would have your Grand Central station, and it's called the Grand Terminal. I didn't call it the Central Station. It is the main station. Because it's not in the heart of the city. And that was a conscious decision. I did not want to put, because I knew the size that I wanted to make. Like, could I make this a lot more consolidated? Absolutely, I can. One of the options was to put all of what's over here in this area, but to scale. It was to use all of this area here. So yes, we could have put it in the heart of the city, but I don't like how the city looks right now. This was not my initial vision, and we'll talk about the hearse thing. I already found out what's going on with that. That is a upcoming short that we will discuss what's happening here, and it's not always what people think. So I'm not going to touch that now because I don't want to ruin the surprise. So you'll just have to watch my next short that discusses that particular issue. But give me a second, you guys. I need to step away for a moment, and I will be right back. Hello. Hello. And we are back. Having some mic issues here. My mic is giving me problems. Yes, I hope everyone is having a great weekend. And let me know if the sound quality is messed up because it sounds like there's an echo. So I'm not sure if that's been going on this entire stream. OBS has just been giving me major issues lately, and they are issues I have not had. So yeah, we will need to see what is going on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to switch here for a second to the starting soon, and I'll be right back. Okay, I guess you guys are seeing what I'm doing here. I had to add a new sound source, and I guess for some reason I've never turned those on. So yeah, I guess we are good now. I'm not even, yeah, I don't think you guys can even see the screen. But yes, so I do apologize to anybody that heard background noises and stuff that you shouldn't have been hearing. As I said, I'm not sure what happened to my main scene in OBS, and it just completely messed up the sound quality and everything. So I thought we were good, and now um, there shouldn't be any unnecessary background noise pickup, and I do apologize if that was noticeable this entire stream. As I said, I cannot say stream today. I cannot without pronouncing it twice. Yeah, yeah. Yes. I think we might add some. Should we add some bus? I'm trying to think if we should add bike stations on the pedestrian road, which is not here since it's actually right. I'm thinking about adding these just to give the area just more visual appeal. I know this is kind of counting as detailing, but I did say we will do some detailing. Today is not fully focused on detailing. I like that. That looks really good. And we'll add trees and stuff. And then we're gonna have some food vendors out here, but it's like, do we really need food vendors? Because I will compete with that. But maybe some people want street food. They don't want what these people have, right? And life is about options. We want to give the people options. The people demand options, and they shall have options. I'm still wondering if I should just make it bigger. Yeah. I hate when things are perfect. When they're noticing. Um, yeah. Really looking like something. The detailing part, I don't really know if I want to do the detailing on live. I don't really know if that's satisfying people or if it's boring. Please let me know in the comments. I don't know if people like watching somebody detail. I know people like seeing the process, speed ramp, but in real time. You want to see somebody detailing for 4 hours. It's the question. So I don't think that these. I think these. Yeah. really looking at something. And I'm actually happy that I did decide to simply replicate. There are some changes, and the changes that I made are actually better. I still want this to feel connected. I might put it at an angle. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'll do that. But continuing with my thought, and it goes back to another one of these shorts I made, that you don't need to fall in love with an idea. Just because something worked in the moment doesn't mean it will continuously work. And that's how you come up with better ideas. Because your first draft of an idea is hardly or rarely ever your best idea. That is why you revise, you have other people look at things and gather their opinions, see what needs to be changed based on the feedback they gave you, or what doesn't need to be changed, because everybody has an opinion, and every opinion does is their opinion, but doesn't mean it's a change that you need to make, because it may not just be one. So like you ask 20 people something, you're gonna get 20 different responses, and then you're gonna drive yourself crazy because you think that you made the perfect whatever it is. You built the perfect city, you wrote the perfect book, you wrote the perfect essay, and in all actuality, everybody's definition of what is perfect is going to be different, because we all have different writing style and design styles. So not everybody's going to like what you create. You just create the best version that you are happy with, and you put that out. Now, if you feel that you're missing something, yeah, it's okay to get one or two people's insight, but you will go into an endless cycle, and you will drive yourself insane trying to get everybody's opinion about something you that, that is the whole truth of that. Let me see if we need to clear up any lanes. Let's see. We did there. So I'm just removing the unsafe lanes here. I'll check this. And actually, I need to check that because that wasn't an intersection at first. So let's see. Lanes from that intersection and something for this one. Nope, they were free. I don't know why it wants to make these awkward U-turns that just would not be an option in real life. That's why the mods. Oh, I did this without mods. There are reasons for mods. Sometimes mods are not just so you can quote unquote cheat in the game. They have a structural or mechanical reason for existing that either developers are not paying attention to, or just do not care enough when they change the coding to fix the problem. So we end up brilliant modders who fix the problem because they love the games that they create mods for. And let me know if you like these real life connections to games. You know, we're playing a game, we can't correlate life to games. You know, by what we learn in games, there's no rule. Right here, so let me check this. I'm in autopilot mode right now, so I think this in. We're gonna change this. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. I want this at an angle, and we need to turn off the snapping. Like that, perhaps. And probably yeah. Really hard transition. Don't like it. Fix it. No. Right now, as I said, it is about us getting the rough the layout that we want, and then detailing is where I try to get things perfect. To be honest with you, because I feel that just trying to get things perfect while you're still figuring out what the ultimate layout's going to be is just a waste of time. It's why I keep bringing up revision. Revision is not supposed to be where you get things. Well, the rough draft is not where you're supposed to get things. The revision process is where you're supposed to get things near, near, near. I don't believe that I want a connection here. I just don't want too many options, and I want to be able to control traffic better as as this area gets busier. We can make additional changes, but that is also another reason that we moved the Grand Terminal Transit area or campus to this particular space is because it gives us ample unused parcels to expand or change the layout. Had we moved it over here, we were a lot more confined in this area here to what we could do. I mean, we still could have done it methodically, and it would have been better in a lot of people's opinion because it is closer to the heart of the city. But that was not my plan, and a lot of this area over here might change. I don't believe the airport is going to remain here. Um, we probably will have two separate downtown areas. Probably going to start out here. It's not going to sprawl out all the way out here. We have the university over here. I plan on doing a lot of, so as I said, let me finish my thought before. So the university is going to have its own separate feel and area and its own neighborhood. So we will define each space so it just doesn't feel like one blob. Um, the better industry term is urban sprawl. We don't want urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is fine if done thoughtfully, and it was not. And so back to the point, that's why we decided to put the transit campus out here because it will change, and we actually might move this way here, this industrial district, so that we can expand downtown over here. So it is more centralized. We'll figure that out. But the point in case, connecting everything that I said back to the grand bus station is that by having all of this green space, we give ourselves breathing room to expand and allow ideas to change with our city more organically. And we're not having to spend hours demolishing things to fix past mistakes because we didn't plan far out enough. We planned for the moments, which allowed us to have bars that look like we were doing well for the city. But yeah, as your city grows, that's why a lot of people run into issues. Like I had a commenter on TikTok tell me um, that he spent the city looked like it was doing well, and then he ran into a whole bunch of issues with money, with services, and he said that it took him 2 days to fix that problem. And that's why there's a common theme with finding the thread is let's find out what's causing what's the friction point? What are our pain points that we need to uncover? Because if we don't uncover those pain points and those friction points, we're going to repeat the same cycle over and over and over and over again. And I think that that's why a lot of people get frustrated with the game is that yes, you can chase the bars and you're fine for a while, but people that aren't thinking ahead as their city develops, they get frustrated because it's like, okay, I'm wasting all of this time fixing things. The game is broken, and yes, there are glitches in games. But from what I am noticing, that a lot of it is actually player behavior. And you have to change your behavior and adapt to the game. So you can't play Skyrim like you play Oblivion. You can't play Oblivion like you play Fortnite. You can't play Sim City like you play City Skylines. They can be similar games, but the intent of how they're supposed to be played are unique to that specific game. Yes, mechanics can be similar, but we have to look at each game for what the developer saw it as to get that full experience. Yeah, this is looking really good. I really want to start detailing, but I don't want to. And this goes back to the. I don't want to. This is a rough draft. This is not the final product. Um, some things may move again, or a better idea might come to me. And so that's why, as I said earlier, I'm not going to worry about the decals because when we move stuff, the decals come back, and that's just wasting unnecessary time. So once we discover a mistake, we pause for a moment, we get things to where they need to be, and so we're not making that same mistake. So as you saw, once I noticed that the decals kept coming back, it's like, okay, well, that's just asinine for me to waste my time deleting these decals, knowing that they're going to come back as soon as I move them. So we're not going to waste that time until we have everything where we want them or where we believe they're going to permanently reside. And then we will go in and make those fine-tuned changes that are necessary to give the area the look that we are going for. But we are almost at 2 hours. So I don't want the lives to be too long. I feel that enough, kind of like what I was saying about being organic and letting the city speak to you and design, letting the design become organic. I think the same thing is true with live streams. Can you go for 4, 5, 6 hours? Yes. I think that the moment that it turns into, I'm not saying that I'm going out, I'm just getting my thoughts out. And we could go for another hour and a half, because there's still plenty to do. But I think that also people tend to drag things out longer than they should. Uh, and the ideas don't flow as smoothly as they should because you are allowing yourself to experience creative fatigue. And it's kind of like when you're doing chores or something, like, oh, I'm so tired of cleaning right now, and you just rush through, you just sweep stuff under the oven in the kitchen, uh, under the stove, not the stove, or you're doing laundry and you're just tired of folding clothes, and you just roll everything up and just throw it into the drawer. So similar thing, creative fatigue. You're just putting things in spaces that just don't make sense anymore. That's why I let the game run, because I did the thing I told you guys earlier where I have a thought and I just am the screen is just paused so it looks like it's a still shot when it's actually not. But yeah, to finish my thought, we need to know when to cut, to give our brain a rest. And I believe that when we do that, creativity can flow smoother and more freely. So I hope you guys and gals have a great weekend. I will see you next weekend, maybe, possibly sometime during this week. I might go live. I can go live during the week. So you might see. I hope everyone has a good one. Take care, and I'll see you next time.